Who should get the state currently known as Israel, Gaza, and West Bank? Should it be the Israelis or should it be the Palestinians? Well, first you have to understand, what does ownership mean? Largely throughout history, ownership has been who has the greatest military and or who has the greatest number of people on the ground. In that particular region of the world, it is Israel. Greatest military, greatest number of people on the ground. The Israelis substantially outnumber the Palestinians. But the Palestinians are catching up. They're having lots and lots of children in that particular region. So their population is currently going through a boom. But right now, just logistically, if we look at history, you would say that these are the people Israelis currently own the entire region, actually, that sub region. But who do they get it from? Now, if you look at history books, people go back to 1940s and they'll talk about Israel being gifted that land by the United Nations, backed by Britain, who was in charge at the time, British mandate. But it's funny because history does not begin in the 1940s. If you go back hundreds of years and thousands of years, you see that nation, that region has exchanged hands numerous times. Um, Even when the Israelis held it thousands of years ago, they had to fight multiple nations who came to the Babylonians, the Romans, and the Syrians came to take that land. And sometimes the Israelis were successful in fighting off their oppressors, and sometimes they were not. Eventually, they were evicted. So, to say that it belongs to the Palestinians, there was a time when the Palestinians were the most numerous people on that particular region, but it's very strange to claim a historic ownership of a piece of land that has exchanged hands multiple times. And the Palestinians are currently not the most numerous. They have fewer people than the Israelis, and they're not the most powerful. On top of that, the Israeli state really is a secular state. Uh, Ownership by the Jews is based on ethnicity, not religion. You can be religiously Jewish, but largely the state does not grant you ownership based on that. Whereas the Palestinians are drawn from various parts, various other groups, Jordanians, Egyptians from the region, and their mandate really is a mandate from the Islamic world. It's a Islam versus uh, secular Jew fight currently. So when you see people raising flags saying return it to the land to Palestine, you don't see these same people waving flags say Australia should return Australia to the Aborigines, or America should return the land to the native Indians. Their interest in this particular region of the world is because of the religious context. And this is a region that's fought many wars over the last hundreds years, over the last thousands of years. So it's a very strange thing to claim one group of people, the Palestinians, currently own the land. If you think of what land ownership means,